It's time once again for everybody to come aboard that one and done train. Georgia did their best to protect their home floor without star sophomore guard Jeremiah Wilkinson, but Florida sprinted out front and never looked back in an 86-66 SEC road win that has the Gators currently sitting atop the SEC. Welcome to One and Done. Bienvenidos a todos a One and Done, your fast break of college basketball información, coming to you live with an instant reaction about this SEC battle. And we're happy that you have joined us for the conversation. My name is Jay Heinrich. If you don't know, now you know I'm the conductor of the aforementioned One and Done train. Joined tonight on your viewing device by the man known around these parts as El Capitan himself, the captain of the One and Done ship at MC Holland, 34 on X, the OG Money Mike, Mr. Mike Holland. Mike, the Gators have won their last 4 games by a combined 109 points and looked every bit the part of leader of the SEC tonight against Georgia. After it feels like they were left for dead like a month ago, and now they're on fast track for a possible 2 seed. Man, big win for the Gators.
Yeah, a huge win, man. And Georgia made the early run in the second half, but honestly, this game was just dominated by Florida. And really, when you're going to have the backcourt, Flan's been playing really well recently, but if you're going to have Flan and Lee going off, like just with this front court, you're not really going to stand a chance. So, Xavier Lee putting up 18 points. He looked confident. He had 7 assists and no turnovers. That is absolutely scary for this Florida squad. Chinyela just continues to dominate the glass, man. 20 boards. 20 boards. Like, what are we doing here? He just owns the paint, man. And we talk about, offense, right? And we love what Houck has been doing all season. Condon really efficient tonight. Landon Lee been playing really, obviously really well. But, man, this run that they're on defensively, they're all the way up to fifth in the country in defensive efficiency, Jay. Did not see that as kind of the backbone, especially running this, this 3 big lineup, which is now starting to work. So it just shows you the versatility of Todd Golden. But look at some of these stats that Borzello just posted over on Twitter. They held South Carolina over the last 4 games. South Carolina to 48 points, 0.69 points per possession. They held Alabama to 15 points below its average. We know how high-powered that offense is. They held A&M to 67 points. That was a road game for Florida on 30% shooting. So Buckyball completely wiped that out. And they held Georgia to 66 points tonight on a less sub 35% shooting, man. So just dominating defensively. And then, like we said, you look at it and Landon Lee combining for 33 points with efficiency. Good luck, man. They're on a fast track here to get a 2 seed. And I definitely wouldn't want to play them, as if they come down the stretch as hot as they are. Now, obviously, they've got 7 more games. 4 of these are going to be at home. We get Kentucky's up next on Saturday for them, so that's going to be a big matchup for them. But yeah, it's looking like a well-oiled machine, and 2 teams, Jay, that kind of went in the opposite directions as far as the non-con. Florida 35th in the non-conference strength of schedule, while Georgia was 335th. So I don't know if we're that surprised with how do you do it, Jay? Were they the 2 passing in the night here? Kind of what happened here, man. So yeah, awesome stuff from Florida.
Yeah, except one of them's going this way and the other one's going this way. You know what I mean?
There
It's
you
kind of
go.
like you had them both sort of going up.
Yeah.
Like it kind of feels the opposite here. 86-66 win for Florida over Georgia. Hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already. Hop in the live chat like our guy Nape C. Hustle on the moon somewhere. Whatever side of the moon you're on, that's the closest side you are to Nape. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and show him some love. And then, of course, pushing the buttons tonight, our guy Eric the Blue. A couple of times in the studio in a row. I don't know what I did to deserve that treat, but I'm happy that it's happening. Good to see Eric, as always, and good to see you hanging out with us here talking Florida and Georgia. Mike Chinyelu, they said he wakes up with 10 boards in the morning. He ended up with 20. It was a pretty solid night all the way around for Florida's starters. Everybody in double figures, except Chinyelu. I think you can deal with that.
20
20 rebounds. Yeah, but even you're getting some stuff off the bench, Mike. We were talking about Isaiah Brown in the pre-show too, coming off the bench and doing some good stuff for the Gators. They look like a very complete team. On the other side, Mike, with Georgia, We talked about it at the top. Wilkinson out, shoulder injury. He was really good on Saturday, but now it's time for the midweek game against Florida at home, and he was not able to go. Talk about what his absence did, like not just what he contributes, but how that can sort of help his teammates as well, just with his presence.
Yeah, so definitely shrunk the floor. I mean, guy's taking 155 threes on the year, and he's shooting 34%, but not turning the ball over. Obviously, Kane benefits from a little more spacing. He had a pretty off night, man. He was 6 for 15 from the floor. We thought that maybe Ross was going to step up, Jordan Ross, and he just really didn't deliver. He's kind of struggled this year. Didn't give him anything really, and you could say that for much of the starters, honestly. I mean, Kane got there on volume, but obviously Millender coming off the bench here with a big 15, having to fill the shoes of Wilkinson. But you're looking out there, it's like even Millender, I felt like he didn't do much as far as the stat line shows, because when I was watching it, it's like, man, like they're switching the bigs. Houck is on him, and he's just having trouble in the lane, getting anything done, at least early in the game. Now, I got it going a little bit in the second half, and then, they just had no answers. And Coach White was basically trying anything and everything off the bench. Justin Bailey got 21 minutes. In the front court, nothing given to them. James is basically a non-factor. Absent in his 12 minutes, didn't really contribute anything. So just ran into a buzzsaw, man. And you look at it and it's like, this has been the trend for, the last couple of weeks. I mean, they've lost now 6 of their last 10 in SEC play. And that's kind of the dice that you roll, right? With Georgia, we didn't have them on any radar as far as making the tournament. You roll the dice, you don't play anybody in the non-con. The best win in non-con is against, an Auburn team in overtime. And even them, they're, obviously having a questionable season. You don't really have anything else to go with that outside of Cincinnati. And then you get into SEC play, and it's like, okay, you got the Auburn win. Well, obviously Auburn in SEC play. Your basically best win is Cincinnati. And that's just not looking great. When you start racking up some of these losses in conference, man. So pretty tough, 5-6 now, but it's the SEC and the strength of conference, obviously favorable. So if they can get a couple more here, they're going to play that game, Jay, where you didn't play anybody. Your best win is Cincinnati in the non-con, and your best win is Arkansas and Auburn in SEC play. It's going to be tough, man. So just didn't love the energy and the effort tonight, and just thought obviously a huge hole with Wilkinson there.
It feels like a team that thought they were going to have Wilkinson right up until they didn't. Like they prepared thinking he was going to be there, and then you get it. I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but it looks to me like a team that went into a game and wasn't confident executing a game plan, almost like they had to throw it together last minute to make up for his absence, right? Really weird. Florida gets out just real quick, right, and never really looked back. In a 20-point win on the road, 86-66 over Georgia. At halftime, Georgia starters had 9 points.
Which is why they made a different lineup in the second half.
9, right? Well, they did a lot of things different in the second half, right? You saw them go to zone a couple of more times. You saw them start to go under screens and force Xavier Lee to try to I'm sorry, they had to try to make it tougher on him, right? And then they go under a screen again, and then he hits another 3, right? They were trying to make adjustments on how they were guarding him. It just, it was too little too late. Well, and Florida, Georgia never got it back within 10. It was 10 points at one point, right? And then all of a sudden, I made some notes here because they got it right back. I remember they got it to 10. It was 72-62, right? Surreal looked great tonight, by the way. He's the kind of guy that if I am playing Georgia in the tournament, I'm worried about that guy. I'm worried about him, just his defensive presence. I'm worried about him just being able to get a bucket down low when they need it. He had a really nice game tonight. I was impressed by him. I hadn't seen him play a lot, to be frank, and I was impressed by his 18 minutes that he put in on the floor tonight. So, but I thought that he looked good. But at that point, 72-62, right? And they're about to go into that under 4 timeout. They get it to 10. And you're like, hey, if we can get it to 10 at the under 4 timeout, we're good, man. We can actually be in this game. And then what do you know? They go under a screen. Xavier Lee hits a 3. And then they go down and miss it again. And then Flan comes back and makes another bucket. And then before you know it, if it goes from a 10-point lead to a 15-point lead. with 3:12 left, and you're not coming back from that against this Florida team. So,
Yeah.
Mike, talk about Florida a little bit. As everybody wants to hop in the live chat, let me say that first. Hop in the chat if you haven't already. We see Nape in there. Hop in the chat. Hit the like and subscribe button. Show your broskies and basketball some love. We're going to be on for a couple of more minutes here. We'd love to hear from you. But, Mike, on the Florida side, this is a team sitting atop the SEC right now. Like you said, it's not the same SEC as it was last year, but this Florida team, I mentioned it in my open, looks every bit the part of the best team in this conference. What do you think that their ceiling is as we inch closer to March?
Yeah, I love that because the ceiling is Final Four and better because they're shooting 29% from three on the year. And this is where the Flan Lee situation comes in, right? They shot 38% today from three. Like, if they're going to get close to your Heinrich line, they're even going to shoot 33 and 34% with the front court of Hauk and Chinyele. Like, Chinyele's going to get so many rebounds on both ends of the floor. You're going to get extra opportunities. Can you be just a little more efficient? And that's kind of what we've seen, man. Like, that's been, the difference that we've seen is that they've shot it a lot better. At least today they did. The last couple of games from three, they hadn't, but they've still been blowing teams out. So you're talking about, like, what's the upside? Well, the upside is if they ever figure out how to shoot 32 to 33% consistently, good luck, because the defensive prowess is there. Now you're 14th in offensive efficiency in the country when you're 349th in offensive in three-point shooting. Like, that's pretty tough to do, to be 14th in the country in offensive efficiency and 349th in three-point percentage. So there's just so much upside. A lot of that's baked into, obviously, these guys off the bench. I mean, Brown, 3 for 4 from three off the bench, 12 points.
Yes.
Clapjars, 2 for 4 off the bench.
Bucket off the bench.
And Flan, if they can shoot 33%, man, like, that's going to be the difference. I mean, the guy that couldn't shoot it tonight was Hauk, and he's usually the one guy that they can kind of, in the starting lineup, that you can kind of count on to make a few of them. So, yeah, man, like, they're starting to click at the right time. We talked about them in Houston, on Monday when we did our recap show for the week, and they're 1-2 on Torvik, Florida being number 2, Houston being number 1 over the last 10 games. I'm sure after this performance, although Houston obviously going to make it tough, they could potentially, in the next few games, jump to number 1 as far as an L10, just with the way that they're playing, man. So, yeah, just good stuff, man. Lee shooting 25% from three on the year. And Boogie Flan shooting 19% from 19% from three on the year. Those guys moved those needles up higher, and now you're talking about a team that I may pick to go a really long way again, although I need to see more consistency out of especially Xavier Lee. Got to see they have more options with the way that Brown's coming on. So, yeah, love to see it and want to see it continue. Obviously, it's been a good train that they've been rolling on here. They got 2 of the next 7 against Kentucky, so that'll be kind of fun to watch.
86-66 win for Florida on the road against Georgia. I said it in our pre-show meeting. If Xavier Lee is playing with that kind of confidence, you're in trouble.
Step back jumpers,
just doing. Let me dribble, step back in the paint. That ball went like 20 feet in the air and just drops right through. Like, if he's feeling it like that, man, it's tough. And then Boogie Flan shot over 50% from the field tonight too. I thought he had himself a great game. I love me some Boogie. And Boogie, he was like, for his last million from three before he hit that one tonight. We'll see if I can get him off of that schneid there and get him headed in the right direction for the Gators. So we're going to need him to improve that shooting as they, search out that deep run in March, like a lot of these teams are for sure. And they have the ability to do it. No doubt about it. 20-point win on the road in the SEC for the Gators, 86-66. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons if you have not already. Show your broskies and basketball some love. We are cruising on our way to 11 gazillion, fulfillion, and 1 subscribers. But right now, we'll take let's get to 1755 by the end of tomorrow. All right, push those buttons and show us some love. If you're hanging out with us, we appreciate you for sure. At One and Done CBB is where you can find us on all the socials. Follow us over there. Make sure you hit the buttons on YouTube, though. That's the most important, and we appreciate all the love. Shout out to Nate for hopping on the live chat. Shout out to Eric for pushing the buttons tonight. Always doing a great job. Shout out to that guy sharing your viewing device with me around here. He's known as El Capitan himself, the captain of the one and done ship, at MC Allen 34 on X, the OG Money Mike, the comma chaser himself, Mr. Mike Holland. We'll see you next time. What are we doing? We got DFS show later in the week. Mike,
Yeah, DFS for Friday night for Saturday's main slate, man. So I already started to work on it. Yep.
Love it.
Let's get it.
All right. Well, make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when we go live on Friday for that Saturday slate so we can get this bread. Push all those buttons. Tell somebody that you love them, okay? Take care of yourselves. Until next time, 86-66 win for Florida over Georgia. And my name is Jayheinrich. Come again. We'll see you.